Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Duels with this week's Mono Green Stompy deck. Quick note before we get into the games, if you want your deck to be shown next week, then be sure to send me it down either in the comment section below, by email or on Twitter. Whichever's fine with you is fine with me. Right, without further ado, let's get into the game, shall we? See you there. Okay, we're in and we're on the draw. Sand isn't amazing, but it has a Sylvan Advocate to hold off any aggressive creatures, and we have Ramp later on, and we can likely draw into something nice, so I think we'll keep it. Our opponent is rank 25, called Eberk, and he's playing green too. Knowing the current meta, werewolves would be a good expectation of what he's going to pull out. So is he mono green? No, he's green red. Is it werewolves then? It's werewolves. Oh, good call. Good call. If it wasn't pretty much the only thing in the meta at the moment, then I'd give myself a pat on the back, but yes, we see a lot of werewolves. And that slightly irks me, I'll be honest. But that's just me, who likes to make weird decks. Okay, so has our opponent got anything to do? Likely. Guy Reach Bandit, okay. It's 3-2 with haste. And then helps your other werewolves transform. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna take that since there's no point trading with it. We can stop this Dustwatch Recruiter coming in with our Sylvan Advocate in play. So it's a bit of a slow play, but we're going to have to put an Elemental Bond down. Next turn we can Explosive Vegetation, and the turn after that is Outland Colossus. So, not bad. Upside is we can swing in for 2, since he can only chump block our Advocate. So he's dealing 3, we're dealing 2, which isn't... We're not winning this race, but we haven't really set up our board presence either, so I'm not too worried. As long as we're doing something as well each turn, the werewolves can't really do much to us. And we've got a nice enough curve that that's actually the case. So that is a Lambhold Pacifist. Can't attack unless he has a creature with power 4 or greater, which now he has the Heirloom, he is likely to be able to do. Okay. Although it looks like he forgot to equip it. No, he didn't. What's he got in his hand for 1 mana? And do we care? How much do I actually care? Nah, we'll take it. If we get to 6 mana with the Advocate, then we can definitely trade off with anything he puts in front. Yeah, he might have had a... not Firecraft. The other one. The 1 mana burn spell. Right, well, we're going to Forest, and we're going to Explosive Vegetation. That's going to take us up to 6 mana, which actually pumps up our Advocate and makes a nice blocker. So, we might as well swing in, since he's tapped out, and yet again, it's only a trade on offer here. The upside is, now that we've got a 4-5 in play, and a 6-6 ready to replace it if it dies, I'm happy to trade off with any of these creatures. His Pacifist can attack now since it has made itself a 4-4. Which one is most important to him? If he flips this one, it's probably most important. So... yeah, let's hold off as much damage as possible. Titan Strength, okay. So he's going to lose his... Bandit still, but we're going to lose our Sylvan Advocate. We do, however, have the Pulse to gain back the life we're about to lose. And a Hermit. Yep. Gaia's Revenge. We're pretty much just dead if he has a pump spell, aren't we? Well, we're going to Outland Colossus. That's going to allow us to get a card off the Elemental Bond, which is another Colossus, or Colossi. We can potentially live this turn, but we'll be in a bit of trouble. We'll probably have to pulse. So he's having a little look. to see if he can find some more werewolves, and he finds one. Little hermit. Okay. I imagine he comes in. No, this is enough to hold him back. That's a good sign. He didn't do anything though, so he will be able to flip all of his stuff. We can, however, force him to flip them all back. The heirloom, unfortunately, has been flipped. So if we pulse back the advocate, play the advocate, that's 2 spells and that flips everything back. And that gains us 6 life as well, which might stabilise us. What does this become on its other side? A 3-3, it's going to be a 6-6 with first strike on the other side. But with 3-2 and a Primal Bellow open, that's fine. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Sylvan Advocate. Play the Advocate. That's going to draw us a card as well, since it will come in as a 4-5. We get another land. We'll play the land. Now we have a Primal Bellow to trade with his Lambhold Butcher, which is going to flip over anyway. We know he's got another one of these guys in his hand as well. What are they called? Another Hermit. And there it is. Well, he ain't flipping his creatures since he's played a card. But I imagine he thinks that he's going to be crashing in with this and threatening a trade, maybe. Since we have to double block, and even then, it's not going to beat our creatures. He's not going to do it. Okay. Well, the longer he waits, the better it is for us, honestly. So, let's Elemental Bond, and then Outland Colossus and draw 2 cards. Is that wide enough for us? Actually, let's rethink this. Elemental Bond. What's he going to do on his turn? So, on his turn, if we play a Colossus, for example, and leave it at that, or if we tap out with the Elemental Bond, play the Colossus, then he can trade with our Colossus, or we let it through, and he maybe does 6 damage. Probably doesn't swing in with the rest of them, because we'll trade off with 2 creatures in its place. So yeah, I think we can afford to let our shields down for 1 turn, so that we can draw 2 cards. Just taking the 6 isn't bad. Short of an X-Burn spell, though, that's the only downside. And a Rabid Bite is amazing. Rabid Bite means that we can destroy this in our next turn if we live, which I find quite likely. So he's hunting for more werewolves. That is annoying as well. He misses entirely. And he's going to tap out completely. Okay, so he's probably not prepared to attack in, which is doing us a favour. Because that actually means we can remove this pacifist. Oh, now we can't though. Well, we'll have to Primal Bellow in order to do it. But that does mean the 2 spells flips all these creatures back again. Yeah. It's a bit of a waste of a Primal Bellow, but I think it has to be done. Oh, unless... do we have... we do. We have Guy's Revenge open, which can do the damage required to kill it, and still do the 2 spells required to flip his creatures back. So I draw 2 cards. That's amazing. And that's even better. That means we can start swinging in on him and killing him. So Rabid Bite, Guy's Revenge, targets this guy. And he has left. He has seen the defeat. Right, what do we want to do in regards to attacking? We definitely want to swing in with 1 at the very bare minimum. It's what he can do swinging back on us is the problem. Next turn we get our Rogue's Passage, so I'm not sure if we even need to rush, because we can also Nissa's Renewal and get 7 life. I think we'll take this slow and steady, and we'll still win. Yeah, because he's trading off his creatures anyway. They all flip back and become very, very underwhelming. Which is pretty much why I don't like werewolves. But I have stated this many a time. So he's got a guy reach bandit. Okay. If he flips that, then he can have his werewolf creatures come in flipped. But it ain't going to happen. Okay. I'm going to equip that guy up. That does stop us attacking him with the Colossus. Now it doesn't, because we can Reclamation Sage away the heirloom, which has been an annoyance for quite some time. So, confirm that. Yes, please. Play our land. Play our Hydra. Gonna go grab ourselves a Rogue's Passage, so that next turn our creatures can become unblockable. Draw 2 cards. This is the deck doing what the deck does well. So we probably want to just swing him with everything. We do 16 damage if he doesn't block. In fact, we just win if he doesn't block them all, don't we? Yep. Essentially. Just swing him with everything and just Primal Bella the unblocked one. Okay. Primal Bella the Sylvan Advocate. That's 14 damage, and that's the game. Wunderbar. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next match. Okay, and we're in, and we're on the draw. This has got quite a nice curve. I actually like this. It's got the Pilgrimage into Tireless Tracker so that we can crack the clue as well on turn 4. So yeah, let's go with this. Our opponent is rank 29, Axel M. Playing green. Please don't tell me it's werewolves again. Please no. Well, next turn we're going to recruit her, and hopefully we can have him flip, and that'll mean that all of our creatures are a lot cheaper. Yeah, it's werewolves. Or it could just be mono green Stompy, same as us, I suppose. That is going to stop us from getting any damage in for quite some time, though. Hydra is nice. Okay, so we'll Duskwatch in the hopes that we get a flip on our side. If he wants to flip his own to flip ours as well, then hooray for him, I suppose. Okay. What's he going to do? Another green. Yeah, this might be green Stompy as well. A mirror match of sorts. Okay, so it's who can ramp up quicker and who has most removal for their opposite opponent's creatures. So for 3, we will Nissa's Pilgrimage, I think. Yep. It's going to take us up to 4 mana with 1 in hand. And no attacks, because we can't do no attacking. Got to make sure not to flip this guy, because the moment he flips, he can start attacking in, and then we're just going to start losing health. He has something at instant speed he wants to do. Or he found out... No, it's Pack Guardian. Okay. So he gets to draw a card. Does he have a land to discard so that he can get a 2/2 wolf? It looks like he does, and he's prepared to do such things. The upside is that unless he's playing fight mechanics, then the Tireless Tracker is relatively safe from our opponent, short of us being forced to block with it anyway. Is it really a tough decision? He's dropping a Westvale Abbey. Interesting. So he's hoping to go quite wide, it seems. Well, that might be his intention, though his hand probably doesn't reflect it since he's discarding that. Rabid Bite is awesome. Well, we're going to Tireless Tracker. And then we get to play Forest. Which is going to get us a clue. Do we want to kill any of his creatures? Or do we want to just get an Advocate down? I think we want to widen our board just a bit. Oh, so we'll go with an advocate. As I mentioned, short of a rabid bite, I think our creatures are safe. And then we can rabbit bite whatever we want on his side if we choose to do so. This could be a modern or green wolves deck, I suppose. There's always that option. There's another Pack Guardian. He's doing a lot of pausing on his attack step. I get the feeling the priority bug's having a go at him now. Maybe he wanted to do something at instant speed prior to the attack. What's he coming in with? Nissa's not going to be able to flip next turn if we get her out. But we will be able to get the Hydra down, which is good. He's doing nothing so that he can flip his Pacifist. Okay. And our Dustwatch Recruiter comes down, which makes our job a lot nicer. So, or Nissa. So we can get Nissa down for 2. We can get Outland Colossus down for 4. Seems good to me. It's quite efficient with our mana, I would imagine. Or we could Outland Colossus and hold up for a clue token. Since Nissa isn't going to flip this turn, let's not risk her. I think that's probably a better plan. We can also keep the Howler from flipping back over. Right, question. None of those are worth rabid biting, so let's not fight them. That was my question, and I answered it before I told you the question. Because I'm weird like that. Here's another Pack Guardian. Okay. He's going to draw a card, and does he have a land he wants to discard? If he discards his lands, then that's pretty good with me, because he's not going to be able to ramp into big creatures like we are if he's throwing them all away. So he is going to throw away a Rogue's Passage. Okay. I mean, he's keeping up when it comes to his land count, so it's not too bad. But we've just got big creatures, and none of his seem to be able to get through. So, I mean, this one trades with a wolf. This one will sack a clue, and we can trade with a wolf. That'll trade with any of those, and so will that. So we can literally... We've got the advantage on our board state at the moment. And we're going to be able to get the Rogue's Passage with our Hydra next turn, so the turn after. Green Warden to get a Westvale Abbey. Ooh. Ooh, that's a problem. Yeah, that's a big problem. Okay, so we need to act fast, because he's going to have a 9/7 in the air. So let's sack a clue. Reclamation Sage doesn't help. What we can do is we can attack with the Outland Colossus. If he blocks, then he loses a creature down to 5, then we rabid bite him down to 4. That maybe keeps him off getting his Westvale Abbey next turn at least. So let's swing in with our Colossus. Let's see if that plan's going to work. If you don't want it to be a 12/12, then he's got a problem. Yeah, there we go. Oh, he's not sure. We know that he shouldn't do it. Although, if he doesn't, then we've got a 12/12 with a Rogue's Passage that we could probably race his Ormondal with. Probably. On the math. So, we can play a Hydra. We're going to play our land for the 2 mana. And then fight one of his creatures. Rogue's Passage. Get a clue. Get another clue. Then Rabid Bite. Which creature do we want to go? Probably the Green Warden while he can't get anything other than a Rogue's Passage. Which is going to be too late for him at that point, because we can race a lot faster. So, Hydra fights his Green Warden. He can exile if he wants for a Rogue's Passage. But now he's going to have to play a creature and his Westvale Abbey and still have 5 mana left up to get his Ormondal. Our Howler flips, which is unfortunate, but his pacifist goes back. It can still attack, but it's not really wanting to attack into any of this, I wouldn't imagine. So next turn we can get Nissa down. We can Reclamation Sage away his Bond so he stops getting card advantage. And that will pretty much do it, I think. Okay. So he's going to need a 1 mana creature. And it's not that. Okay, Howlpack Resurgence is pretty bad. It means his, what they call, Pack Guardians can have a pretty good attack through our massive creatures anyway. But I think we've probably got him as long as we can keep him losing creatures. Keep him below 5. So he gets to draw a card. We can Reclamation Sage away the Howlpack anyway. Which will bring him back down to our level. Right where we want him. So, Nissa costs 3 again. So 1, 2, 3. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 open. So we can only really Nissa or Reclamation Sage and still have our Rogue's Passage up. That kind of helps. So. Studio. Let's Reclamation Sage, take out his Howlpack Resurgence, bring his creatures back down to a reasonable level. Yes, please. This way we can attack him with our Hydra and our Colossus, and we can make the Hydra... Do we want to make the Hydra unblockable? Because he can only block with 1 creature on the Colossus, so he's not going to be able to trade. But he could put these 2 in the way to get rid of our Hydra, which can get a lot bigger. I think we probably want to hedge our bets on the Colossus, though. So we want to get that through for the 12. And try to trade off if possible. So yeah, we'll swing him with the Hydra and the Colossus. Hopefully he double blocks, which will get him out of Ormondal range, more than likely. So our Colossus is now unblockable. Unless he's got a 1 mana instant speed removal spell in green. I'm going with he doesn't, and he's just trying to figure out what's going on. Okay. Still pausing away. So, he's probably doing the math actually, because if he gets his Ormondal next turn, then he can start swinging in for 9, but we're doing 12, so he has to do the math. And it turns out we'll probably end up going wider than he can as well, so it's likely not going to save him to get his Westvale Abbey flipped. So yeah, it looks like he's going for the double block. Oh no, just a single block. And a Primal Bellow. Makes sense. So he still gets to flip his Ormondal. We do lose our Hydra, but we get a 12-12. He gets a 9-7, loses all of his creatures but 1, which will be tapped out. So we'll be doing 12, 13, 14, 18, 22, 24 damage next turn if he does his Westvale Abbey. Okay. So we're on course to win. Unless he's going to leave it unblocked. No. It's not a good idea for him to leave it back for blockers, because then I can just have the Outland Colossus do all the blocking. So we have him dead, short of a combat trick. Let us Nissa, since we can. Let's get as much advantage as we can before we go for the win. Okay, so we'll flip our Nissa. We'll get our tiles tracker up nice and big as well. There's also that. Okay. We will plus our Nissa. We get a land, which is another clue token for us. And we're just going to swing in and sack all of our clue tokens, really. So we'll sack them all away. Just make sure we get a little bit high and then a little bit high. A little bit higher. And that's just going to be game unless he can untap his creature. Yep. Continue playing. And then it was likely to be Ulamog next turn, I think. I ain't counted me lands, but... Oh, and that's just the game right there. Okay. So we can... Reclamation Sage gets big. Bam. For epic victory. And good game, sir. Good game. I think we got him down to -14 on that attack, which isn't bad. Right, guys, well, that's going to have to do it for this episode. So don't forget to send me your decks if you want them to be featured next week. If you've liked the content, then be sure to leave a like. If you've loved the content, then be sure to subscribe. But if you're not quite sure, wait for the end card to see the rest of the content we've got to offer. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.